Pickaxe.
5-day early access to every Cast Party episode, including Nocturne, ad-free episodes, behind-the-scenes info, exclusive bonus monthly one-shots, access to our community Discord where our community plays D&D games together, has game nights, and hosts so much more, all for less than the price of a single cup of coffee per month. Aren't convinced? Try out a free trial. 7 days free to check out the content that we offer only exclusively on our Patreon. Patreon.com/castparty. Support your favorite D&D podcast, all while getting some awesome perks. Patreon.com/castparty. See you there, cast and crew.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cast Party. My name is Colin McManus, and I'll be your director for today. I'm joined by Ryan McManus.
Hi, Ryan McManus playing York Jorgensen, the Jewel of Debauchery.
Anna Brisbane.
Hi, Anna Brisbane playing Lenore DeVere, Chaos, very excited to push all the buttons.
Nigel Deacon.
Hi, I'm Nigel, playing Jackal Campman, the leperin loner striving for companionship and control.
Vince Perino.
Hi, Vince Perino, playing Tevin Alkin, the big, tall, metal robot boy whose tummy is hungry for memories.
Raquel Skellington.
Hi, everyone. I'm Raquel Skellington. I play Poppy, the tender-hearted giant.
And Luis Carrazzo.
Hey, everybody, I'm Luis, and I am playing Santos, the Glavinator.
Let us talk about what happened last time. We began with Bjorg heading to As the Tree Falls. He entered the cramped bookstore and found his way into the basement where he discovered a hidden tavern. Waiting to find Virgil, he overheard a man and woman speaking about Dominic, the Order of the Chrysalis, Rexius, a bunch of things he hadn't heard of before. This conversation ended quickly, and just then, Virgil and Dredd appeared. This was Dredd, the man who was drowning Lenore in the fountain. Bjorg gave over the ring, and Virgil said they can move to the next step. Dredd stepped in and told Bjorg he needed to find Lenore, though Bjorg, with some clever wording, was able to get the two of them to back off after Virgil brandished and threatened him subtly with a dagger. We joined Poppy as she headed back to Wraithwood and encountered Lightshade, a group of youngsters looking to make a name for themselves by slaying the beasts in the Wraithwood. Poppy calmed them down and helped them to understand that violence wasn't the answer, and there were other ways to gain money in the banks. She continued into the Wraithwood and left a heap of gold on the table for Pop before heading to bed. Tevin found his way back to his home where Desmond was worried sick about him. Desmond gave Tevin a device that is supposed to help him understand when and where his memories come from. Santos and a disguised Lenore headed to Thanars, where they spoke with Linnea. Linnea told them each about the investigation of the attempted kidnapping, and that she found similarities between two other previous kidnappings. Santos asked Linnea if she had ever seen the symbol that's on all of your hands. She had, in fact. She remembered seeing it when she was taken through a guided meditation by someone named Channa. She doesn't remember much from the session, but left to go see Channa. She said she would set you up with her in the morning, then go report to Officer Darian to stall him before your full debrief of what happened in the morning. Santos and Lenore left the Nars to head to bed for the night. Now you're all heading back to your respective homes, taverns, any beds to call your own, except for Jackal, who we did not see last episode. Jack, you have been strapped to this chair in the A17 prison cell. It's been pitch black for some time, and so the scene is set. The question is, what are you feeling?
Tired is the main thing. It's a feeling of familiarity in here, but it's also like unnerving, uncomfortable. It's just kind of like knowing something's coming, but not knowing what.
Your thoughts are interrupted by a creak from the door. The same one you entered to get here. Your eyes are open wide, yet all you can see is darkness. Your ears perk up a bit more as you hear the footsteps echo through the hallway, getting louder. You hear this person coming closer to you. But maybe halfway down the hallway, the sound disappears. And it's excruciatingly quiet. There's a sudden piercing pain in your right bicep. You look down, and in the darkness, you see a wound forming in your skin just below the fur. A small needle hole. but no needle to be seen. Your arm involuntarily shakes, but its movement is held still by these shackles. It's violent a moment, but quickly subsides until your entire body throughout is relaxed. Your muscles feel loose, all the tension in your neck goes away, the strain of your eyes trying to see in this darkness just gone. Your head falls backwards until it rests upon the back of the chair, and you fade. Just like a switch has been turned in your brain, you feel that you are dreaming instantly. Darkness quickly subsides, but you're not in the same place, not even in the same body. Darkness turns to bright light, and it's hot. You're in a desert. Hot sun bouncing off the ground, hitting your face. Beneath your feet, there is a mixture of fine red sand and scattered rocks, some patches of rough, spiky grasses with some stubby bushes around. Your face is covered almost entirely by cloth, save for your eyes. Your hand, you see, is skin. It's a bit more red than it should be, but it's skin. And you're holding a trowel in your right hand. You're on your hands and knees digging into the sand. It's getting more dirt-like the further you get into the earth. You are inhabiting this body, Jack, but you don't feel in control of its movements. You are dreaming this. But it feels so real and familiar. What happened while you were digging, Jack?
They're very careful movements as I'm digging. This is something that I have been doing for a decade at this point. They're very particular, precise. Careful is the key word. As I'm removing dirt, brushing stuff away with a little brush that I've got attached to my hip, and just removing fine dust from anything that I find that looks like it may be important more than a rock. As I am now further and further down in this area, I find something that looks like a very special rock.
Takes some time. Once you see it, your eyes perk up, but you're able to carefully remove it from the dirt encrusting it. It's about 5-6 inches long, dusty, light brown color. It's in the shape of an egg. Fully complete, no cracks or imperfections. It feels ancient. It's completely fossilized. What was your first instinct when finding it?
First instinct was, oh, another rock. Second instinct was, oh, I know exactly what this is. It may have gotten moved here. Maybe it was laid here, but this feels like an egg, like an old egg, millions of years ago. It's like unmistakable to the trained eye that I have that this appears to be a dinosaur egg or some ancient egg. Fossilized, of course.
And you're standing here with this object and you are alone. There's no one else around you now, but you start to hear movement of something coming from your tool bag just on the ground behind you.
I'll peek in.
Inside, you see a small rodent with these large ears, a thin muzzle, and it looks up at you, very much like a deer in the headlights. It has gotten into a bag of almonds that you had there and has one of it in its mouth. A second later, it locks eyes with you. It begins to rush into a nearby hole in the ground. As it does, you hear this frantic squeaking. That squeaking continues as your vision changes. You're returning to a tent. This object, where would you have put it?
I would have put it into my bag. There is a level of fragility that it probably has, but there's enough in my bag to kind of cushion it without it being in danger. And I mean, at this point, it's so close to a rock that it probably wouldn't have gotten hurt on my trip back in there. So it's in the bag.
Tuck it safely in that bag, and you move towards your bed as you return to your tent to place your things down, but you're stopped by this squeaking. You see a man here, much taller than you, bright ginger hair. His face and arms are much more red than yours are. You see a small makeshift pen in the corner with bags and pillows. Inside the pen, you see another one of these small rodents that keeps moving about and trying to get out of the enclosure. Jack, look what I found.
What'd you get?
It's a bilby, one of those little guys that's always stealing our snacks. Caught one.
There was one in my bag when I was out in the field too. Why are you keeping it? I don't know. Why would you put it in here?
It's cute.
Well, yeah, but
It's gonna be like our pet.
buddy, you gotta let that thing go. You cannot have a wild animal as a pet, no matter how cute.
I heard one of the locals call them Mankar, so I think I'm gonna call him Manny. So now that he has a name, he is a pet.
If it bites you, I'm not administering any first aid. Just letting you know.
Did you find anything today? You're out late.
I thought I did, but nah, nothing important.
I'm gonna feed this little guy. I think they like almonds, so
Can confirm.
we should hit the hay soon.
Yeah. Good night. Good night. I'll see you in the morning.
It was getting late when you returned. What would you have done with your egg?
I would not have even opened my bag when I got back. It was kind of like as I got in, it was nearby, and I would have like kind of tucked it onto the opposite side of, so like the outside wall of the tent, so that when I lay down, I'm sidled up against it and it's away from everything. This is the sort of thing donated that should be given to a group for research, for historical purposes, but I've been out here for so long. I've found a handful of things that have been immediately seen by everyone else and taken away, and I'm just like, I want something to bring home. I know that that's not what I'm here for, but I just want something to prove that I did this, that I found something, you know? This one's mine.
You look at your bag one more time, knowing that object is in there, before you close your eyes to sleep for the night. Later, as your eyes open, you're still in the cot, bright out, starting to get pretty hot, and your bag is no longer in front of you.
Takes me a moment to realize that matters, and then I remember the egg, and I kind of sit up and I look around to any side of it.
You find your bag real fast. It's placed over by this makeshift cage where this animal was. The other man is no longer here, but as you walk over, you see your bag is flipped open, and that package of almonds has been taken out and has been placed in this cage. As you look in here, you see a couple almonds left over, but no more animal in here. You actually see a little hole that it had dug to crawl out of.
Clock what's happening. I walk out looking for my tent mate.
Walking outside the tent, you see the red-haired man surrounded by a few other individuals. He's holding this egg-shaped rock in his hand and showing it around to the others who are here. You overhear him saying, "Yeah, I found it yesterday at the dig site. Nobody tell boss, I'm gonna keep it."
I don't even care who sees this. I like grab him by the shoulder and I pull him back like, "Hey man, what are you doing?"
"Jackal, get away from me. It's mine."
I don't think so. You took that from my bag.
Finders keepers, right?
Yeah, and I found it.
And I have it, so...
Jack has spent a lot of years trying to diffuse situations before something happens. Look, we've been tent mates for a while, and we're still going to be tent mates for a while. Do not make this a problem, and just give it back to me.
It's not a problem. We'll find another one for you.
We'll find another one for you.
I'll keep this one until then.
I swing.
And you connect.
This one's going straight for the chin, and this is like a practiced punch. Like, this is not the first time Jack swung at another person. He has the right shape of his fist. He knows where to hit in the cheek so it does the least amount of damage to his own knuckles.
There's a silence that falls over this place until he reflexively hits you with an elbow. And in this moment, your vision of the surrounding area goes from bright, sunny day to dark in an instant. You find yourself in a dark room. Similar walls and floors to the A17 cell, but this room is much larger. There's runes on the walls that are glowing. The floor tiles are shifting around you. Heat expels from the openings as they move back and forth. You notice the fur on your hands. Your hair-and-gone body is just exhausted. Your knuckles are bleeding as you look up. And you see a being made of pure metal. It looks like Tevin, but much more finished, and with less life behind its eyes. It looks menacing in the way it presents itself, but its face is completely stoic. You see some of your own blood on various parts of this being's body. And as you get up from the floor, it leans down and swiftly punches you in the gut. You fall to the ground again. Your face collides with the stone floor and your body goes limp. You wake up. Minutes, hours, days later, you aren't quite sure. You're seated in the chair in A17, no longer shackled. You're completely naked. On the floor in front of you is your clothing, cleaned and fixed from where it was ripped, as well as your bag full of your usual items, along with some new bandages for your hands, as well as a single potion of healing.
Mechanically, did I get a long rest?
You did get a long rest, but you still have your 1 level of exhaustion.
I stand up and I kind of stretch off whatever last night was. I pick up my stuff. I put on my clothes. I pack everything up. I put that potion into the side pocket, knowing I'll need it eventually, but I can make it by for right now. And I look at my knuckles, which are just as bloody as they were the night before, if not more. I wrap them up in the new bandages, gear up, and head out.
You are able to make your way all the way outside of the dungeons. You all get your long rest from the last night, and we are to the morning.
Before I head to that location, can I head to, it's gotta be a bakery or something that is nearby to Nightshade so that I can use the night shillings and make sure that, they take night shillings and stuff, because that's what I've got. I'll walk up to whoever the patisserie chef is, the baker. I'll get 6 muffins. Banana nut.
We'll say it's 3 night shillings. Does anyone else have anything they would like to do in the morning before meeting up together?
Poppy has a survival backpack, and so having used her rations and wanting to pack up some more supplies, I think she kind of goes around the farm and takes maybe some of the hardtack and rations around and resets her bag.
As you are going around, you notice a few things. Some of the vegetables are being eaten by rodents. Some of the weeds are growing up high. You're noticing that some of your farm tasks that you typically do on your day-to-day are going to the wayside because you're doing other things.
I would like to think that she pulls up the weeds as she goes by. She can't, she has things to do today, so she can't get all of them, but enough where that if Pop were to peep out the window, he wouldn't be pissed.
Before Tevin heads out, he's just going to let his brother know that he's leaving. And then I will stand out front of the building and look around and try to figure out where I'm going. I think I will start calling out Tevin a little bit as I walk, like how I did previously.
Like a call-in response, I also just start shouting Tevin.
Tevin? Tevin?
Tevin!
Oh,
Tevin!
Tevin.
Tevin.
My favorite pool game.
I'm also gonna stop at, I'm just gonna look for a little bakery cart or something that takes night shillings. And I'm getting 6 muffins, but they're chocolate chip.
Those are premium muffins, so it does cost 4 night shillings.
Okay, I don't know the difference.
Bjorg would be waking up at his tavern. He's going to start getting dressed, but as he does, he grabs his suit jacket and he whips it in the air. And instead of his usual, sleek black fitted jacket, it's one of those wool, tacky, old man, plaid, tan pattern suit jackets. I am casting Disguise Self. Bjorg's a little panicked from the night before. He's trying to be a little unnoticed. So he's got the herringbone old man wool hat. Instead of his normal goatee, it's a full, longer gray beard with unkempt gray eyebrows. looks a little older. And I am going to try to find Lenore first before meeting up with everybody. So, like, probably hanging around the outskirts of the Nightshade complex.
You would know about where Lenore's coming from. You see her flying through with a big brown bag.
Lenore?
What do you want? What do you want from me? I hold up the bag like a weapon.
Is that you? Bjorg, it's been 93 years.
Huh? Bjorg has been 93. What?
We've been looking everywhere for you.
What are you talking about?
And then I'm gonna wave my hand in front of my face in its normal Bjorg face. I'm just kidding. I needed to find you first.
Can you teach me to do that?
I would love to.
That would really come in handy, apparently.
I wish I could do it on... I'm gonna drop the voice. It's a little harsh. I'm gonna teach you, potentially, maybe, or I can whip something up to change your looks, I guess, if that's something you would like.
I mean, once we leave this town, it won't matter, but it might matter if we stay here.
It might matter if we stay here. The people who were apparently trying to kill you tried to kill me.
When?
Last night.
Last night? You almost died?
Uh-huh. All because I had to deliver some fucking jewelry.
Oh my god.
So, you know that the little piece that I was working on throughout the whole cart ride after your earrings and everything?
What was that?
For the Dragonborn, Virgil, that we saw at the tavern when we had brunch before we left.
Oh, that guy.
Yes, I found him in an underground tavern. Secret black axe business.
Why couldn't you just meet him in the town square? Or at your cart? Like a normal jewelry exchange.
Listen, that's what I tried to do last time. He changed the thing last second, and I just had to go with it, okay?
Did he pay well?
Hell yes.
And he tried to kill you?
There's a downside, I suppose, but... Listen. There's information that I have about you that I got from Virgil.
What is it?
Apparently, myself, as well as the other groups, are keeping you from something that you want, but you don't even know it. They were very cryptic. I don't know what it means, but apparently Dread is very unhappy that you are not to be found. You, specifically you, are the next part of their plan. The piece of the puzzle that they need.
And do they think I want to be part of the puzzle?
I am unsure of that. Apparently, you and Dread had some sort of deal. You were supposed to meet on a bridge, and you didn't show up. I don't know what that means. I don't know what you were meeting for.
I'm not a big fan of bridges.
He said that he's trying to keep you out of prison, and I said you were doing a pretty good job of that on your own.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, yes. That's all I know.
What do I want?
You're asking me.
They said I wanted something and I don't even know.
Maybe we'll figure it out. I just wanted to get your attention.
Did you ask? Did you try asking?
Well, you see, it's hard to ask when there's a knife pushed up against your stomach. I had to pick my words very wisely.
You convinced them to let you go?
Yep. I can go back whenever I want, though. So maybe we disguise you and we go back and we get answers.
Yeah, teach me.
All right. After this meeting, let's get this over with.
The rest of you are together, and you see Bjorg and Lenore coming up to you.
This is what old actually looks like, Tevin.
What has happened to you? Who are you?
I've missed you, my boy.
You look terrible.
Wow, thanks.
What's happened to you?
Well, if we're here, I suppose, and I'll just end the spell then.
Where did you come from?
That's what happens when you don't have your morning muffin. And I hand Bjorg a Biana nut muffin.
Biana?
I mean, it's not my favorite, but thank you.
What's your favorite?
Chocolate chip that you can get at the premium cart.
Oh, that's what I got.
Oh, someone with taste. Let's go. Thank you.
Oh no, these are for me.
Oh, can I trade you a banana nut muffin?
Actually, I'm taking that one back.
Just kidding. I'll get food later.
You're not going to appreciate my gift.
I'll take it.
Here you are, Poppy. You can have two, because I got one for everyone.
Oh, thank you. I'm mostly a corn muffin girly, but I'll take the. And she just like with the wrapper.
Wait a second. You got one for everyone when Tevin doesn't eat.
It's the thought that counts.
I would very much like to not look like that. So I would gladly take one.
I hand him a muffin.
He instantly just starts like shoving it, like trying to just brush his teeth with it almost.
Oh, you got a little something on your. And Poppy just wipes off the entire muffin from his face.
Santos, are you a breakfast person?
A slight delayed response before Santos kind of snaps out as he was watching everybody, the scene of his companions play out in front of him, almost as if he was watching it from a mile away. Looks down at this banana nut muffin that's in his hands that he barely remembers Jack handing to him, and just kind of absent-mindedly takes a bite out of it. Crumbs all over his mouth. Turns to you, Bjorg, and says, yeah, it's actually quite good, and will hand you half of the muffin, since you don't have one.
I suppose I should try it before I turn it away, right?
That's what they say.
I'll take a third.
I've never had one of these before, so...
It's pretty good, actually. Hey, everybody. And he's Santos kind of shakes again to almost snap out, and it's clear that he's been up early. His hands are red and chafed a little bit, and he's massaging them, putting his gloves back on, but keeps taking them off, massaging his hands and stretching them out a little bit and massaging them some more. We have some business aside from what we already know we're walking into. There's a little detour. If you're willing to come along, I hesitate in putting more on you all. But I'm not trusting Nightshade. Are any of you, based on what just happened? We know they're after Lenore. That's no secret.
I trust them with my life. I'm lying.
I know. And I'll walk up to Tevin. Just kind of look up at you, study you a little bit. You really don't remember much. You remember the least of us.
I do remember parts of the last few days, but that is all.
What if I had an opportunity where we might be able to remember more? What if we went a little off script today? Took a detour?
Yes, that is all I need.
Lenore and I went and we met with my friend Linnea, the other Nightshade guard. She's a friend, and she's the one that gave me a heads up about what they were planning for Lenore. I think that if we go into Officer Darian's office, we're just walking right into a trap. She said that she knows someone that might help us get answers to what maybe some of this means, and I'll hold up my hand with the mark on it.
And doing so will make us remember.
It might.
What are we waiting for?
I don't know. It seemed fun for a moment to pretend that nothing important was really happening. You all seemed playful and happy.
And you are not?
No. Absolutely not.
If everyone else is happy and glad, why would you not be as well?
I think one of the things that I like about you all is how easy it is for you to forget that we're in trouble. You just have so much fun together, it seems, and you barely know each other. You've already, again and again, have willingly forgotten the mess that we're in, and I'm surprised. I think that a part of me would get ticked off at that, but honestly, it's just not the case. I love it.
Well, it seems like one of the main things we all have in common is forgetting stuff. And I think that includes you.
Yeah.
Poppy kind of side eyes and looks at Santos and is like, I wouldn't say I forgot. We can only control our reactions to things, and what good is it to approach the day being stressed and wound up about what's to come? Doesn't mean I forgot.
I wish I knew how to do that.
Takes practice.
As you said, it takes practice. He goes back to kind of massaging his hands. Well, follow me then. Let's see if we can get some answers from someone other than Nightshade.
As you look up, you see Linnea moving towards you. I brought breakfast, and opens up a bag of 7 muffins.
Oh my god.
Are they corn muffins?
Oh, I got 2 corn. I got 2 blueberry. I got one is called cranberry. I've never had that before.
I'll take the corn muffin, please.
Please do not forget your banana nut. You do not want to end up like this. And I'll point towards Bjorg.
I don't even have the disguise on anymore, Tevin. Come on, please.
Santos, I set everything up with you with Channa. Do you know where the spa is? Just off the river?
Yeah, I think I do.
It was actually very near where we did our investigation. She's in the largest building there. Large dome on the top of the building. She's expecting you.
And I hope she's expecting all of us, because we're all going.
I didn't know how many people, so I said 1 to 6.
Reservations love that.
Yes. We should be on our way, but Linnea, I know what you're about to do for us. Don't get yourself in trouble on our account. I put my hand on her shoulder, give her a friendly camaraderie-ish squeeze. And then I start to head towards where I know this location is.
You do that little squeeze, and you see that she's almost not paying attention to you, and her eyes are trained on the ground. And on the ground is a small anthill. And you see she takes off a little bit of the top of the muffin and drops it near the ants as you head towards the spot.
Following.
It's in the riverfront. It sits just at the edge of the Pollux River that runs through the city. Got multiple buildings here, all different levels, some kind of connecting to each other. It's all intertwined really beautifully, works with the terrain. It's a very calm place. There's greenery all around. There's like a man-made lagoon here where some halflings are resting on some massive floating flowers. As you're walking through, you take some time and are able to find the building that Linnea described to you. Tallest building in the complex. At the top, there's this copper dome that has been so oxidized by the sun that it's nearly blue.
Before we enter, I want to pull Santos aside as I noticed his hands. Hey man, are your hands okay?
Oh yeah, I've been up for a long time and I've been practicing. And I draw my glaive and I twirl it.
Okay. All right, good. I just wanted to make sure. Just what you said earlier, I want to make sure that you know. I think a lot of us are putting on a brave face in the face of this. I know a lot about what it's like to be alone, especially in this city. It's gotten a lot easier since we've found this group. You've seen me almost every day for the last couple years. I know you the best out of everyone here, and I just feel like it's a good time to let you know, like, you don't have to worry about these things alone. You've got 5 other people that you can lean on, even if it's just a little bit. Keep that in mind.
Huh. I put my arm around you. Almost get you, like, it's almost like a headlock, but it's not quite. Mess up whatever hair you have on your head. Thanks, Jack.
All right.
No. You asked for this. If you want to be friendly, then you're going to have to deal with whatever affection comes your way as a result of it. And this is... And I'll stop and I'll look at you. This is me saying thanks. And I get what you're doing and I appreciate it. And it's working. Thanks, pal.
And I hold up my fist, my bandaged fist, for like a like a fist bump or like side fist or whatever, just however you'll respond to that.
Awkwardly, like not know what to do, but then I somehow smack your hand, and then I'll look towards Poppy and just kind of say to you, maybe that needs practice too. A little more pep in my step, I start to move forward towards whatever the hell it is we're getting ourselves into right now.
You enter this building. Floor beneath you is some natural river stones. Some gaps are filled with small patches of grass. Throughout this room are planters. There's vertical gardens. This flow of nature that was outside is now inside this building. The walls are bright white and they're filled with tapestries and planters and art. It's all still just providing this aura of calm. There's a woman sitting on the edge of a small pool in the center of this room. She has horns atop her head, as well as large ears that come off of either side. Her face is humanoid, but has characteristics of a fawn, as do her hairy, cloven, hooved legs. There are these small crystalline bubbles floating above the pool that never seem to pop. They slowly rise and fall in harmony with each other. She looks at you all and gestures you closer. Welcome. May I have your names?
I'll step forward. Is it Hana, right? I'm Santos. I'm Linnea's friend, and everyone decided to come along, I'm pleased to say.
Sorry for the confusion. I am not Channa.
Oh.
Though it is good to see you, Santos. My name is Anastorin. I was created by Spade over on Patreon.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
You got to do the whole pitch there, Colin. Patreon.com.
Patreon.com/castparty.
No,
Yeah.
in the voice.
I was created by Spade over on Patreon. Patreon.com/castparty. You can... Oh God, this feels so wrong.
It sounds so right, though.
You can request NPC names as well as magic items and other amazing things over on Patreon. And you might have your character confusing the party into thinking they're someone else.
Ryan, you got to leave in that we all gave him a hard time about that too, because otherwise it just sounds like a shill.
Yeah, that is true. That's so true. Yeah.
You see, she looks downwards towards this pool she's sitting at the edge of. And now that you're closer, you see the water ripples unnaturally, but beautifully. As she looks at it, it ripples almost as if it's rippling from the point she's looking at. You are here for a last-minute visit for Channa. She does not normally work this early. Is this a special request?
It is a special request put together by Linnea, if you know who that is, on our behalf.
I will call her down. She reaches one of her hands up to these different bubbles that are floating, and she grabs it, and she gently tosses it into the pool. And this time, it doesn't continue to just float. It hits the pool and pops, and this iridescent fog escapes from it and covers the pool before disappearing into the air. She will be right down.
This place is fancy.
It is.
I kind of like it.
Are we going to have to pay like an exponential amount of gold for this?
I really hope not.
I hope they take night shillings.
I'm not sure if I covered that with Linnea. I was too eager to get this moving.
Well, here's to hoping.
Here's to hoping.
We just literally just got paid.
You don't know my life.
That doesn't mean I want to waste it on a spa day.
I'll handle it, don't worry. That's the last thing we need to worry about. Let's just see what happens. Meet the experience, all those other details, I'll sort it out.
If you are talking about these, and I'll pull out my gold that I received, I don't believe I have any use for these. There's no way I can ingest them. So please, take them, and I'll hand them to Santos.
No, Tevin, these are yours. You earned this. And as you start to remember things, you're gonna find that you'll have your own uses for this as well.
If they will aid the moment and gain all of us some memories, then please. And he's just going to drop it into his hands in front of him, just kind of almost throw it at him. Take them.
I take them and put them in a separate pouch that I have, so it's clearly not keeping them in its own place.
Coming from a nearby wall of vines, you see an elven woman. Her ears look especially long because her head looks like it has been recently shaved. She's just got a bit of brown peach fuzz that covers her scalp. She wears a brown leather top that shows off her arms and much of her chest, where she has these geometric tattoos of a dark orange, almost brownish in color. She wears a patterned skirt of green and red with a bunch of pouches hanging off a belt. Welcome. I am Channa. Linnea has sent you to me.
I am Santos, and I'll take a bow. And these are my friends.
I do a dramatic bow, because apparently that's what we're supposed to do.
Salute.
We have a ritual to prepare for.
Oh, but what if I don't want to be in the ritual?
All your worries will be addressed. Everything will be voluntary.
Okay.
You all follow Channa through the vines that she came in through. If you didn't know it was there, it would be hard to even see that there's an entryway behind these vines that brings you up a staircase that continues upward. There's a couple different doors along the way and shows off different areas of the building. There's room where tables are placed with some fresh linens for lying down upon. Another one filled with just herbs and flowers, and it smells very strongly as you pass. You pass a closed door where you can see steam coming from the bottom of the door, and as you pass, got a bit of warmth coming to it. But you continue all the way upward, and you find yourself opening into the inside of that large copper dome at the top of this building that you saw from outside. The room is dimly lit by some flickering candles. The floor is filled with a thick padded carpet that surrounds a central point where a large ornate bowl sits. Its metal shimmers in the candlelight. Please sit. Make yourselves comfortable.
This is cozy.
I hate to bring up payment so soon, but as you are newcomers and you will be needing assistive substances, it will be 3 gold each.
I got it.
I don't know if this is for me, guys.
You don't have to.
Do you not want to regain your memories?
I think I have all the memories I need.
If you are worried about ingesting substances, none of this goes in your body. It is a magical salve.
I'll take my chances and do it without.
Then it will be 1 gold for her.
I'm going to hand Channa the gold. 3 for everybody, 1 for Poppy.
And she takes that from you. And as she does, she looks into your eyes, Santos. I must ask, why are you rushing to get this done so early this morning?
Well, the truth is, we're all a little short on time. Have somewhere to be soon after this, and this might be our only chance to do it.
And what do you think you will gain?
Well, I don't know. I know that when Ilos fell from the sky, everything seemed to change, and there's a lot of questions, and I want some answers. I want, and I'll take my glove off and I'll show her the mark that's on my hand. I want to know what this means.
She grabs your hand and looks at it. I haven't seen this mark.
Never?
Not that I recall. And she drops your hand.
As she's letting go of my hand, I grab hers. A couple days ago, when Ilos fell and everyone in the city dropped, I didn't.
Yeah, he's right. None of us did.
And this is what binds you.
It seems to be yes.
I must say, I was not initially going to do this for you. This is a place of peace, where you leave the burdens of the outside world, where they can be set aside. People come here to relax and to connect with others and their inner self. And yet you come here in a rush, a time crunch. You bring your outside burdens and expect meditation to fix your problems. Yet you haven't even tried other forms of meditation. But this does feel bigger. Linnea made it clear this was important, and I accepted.
I'm ready to start.
She nods. She goes to a nearby shelving unit, She ignites a small burner with a tea kettle on it and starts grabbing some various items. She moves back over towards you all and gestures for you all to sit around the central large bowl.
Is it okay if I lay down?
You will want to be comfortable.
Flat on my back, arms up, as comfortable as I could possibly be. It's like a reverse sploot.
And I'll sit next to Poppy, and just turn to look at you. New thing to practice, huh?
New thing to practice.
Trust. That's what I'm gonna practice right now. You got me. I got you.
I got you. I'm not going anywhere.
Me neither.
As everyone sits, gets comfortable, meditation affects everyone differently. Whether you've done it a million times before, whether it's your first time, or whether you're guided into it by someone or something. The experience is often pleasant, but it is not unheard of to have terrible feelings while meditating. Each experience is unique, and with each experience being so different, there is but one thing I can say for sure. This experience will not give you the answers you are looking for.
I think we're looking for insight, if anything. Isn't that the whole thing about meditation? It's like looking in upon yourself and removing the outside world.
I had this speech for first-timers, but you seem to know more than you let on before you came up here. Meditation won't give you answers, but the energy you feel comes from within you. And it's natural, like the ground beneath our feet or the stars above. But there aren't just answers floating out in the wind. Here, you can gain a clear head, a deeper connection with your true self. And those are what lead to answers. This is but the first step. Deep trances take many years to perfect. I have a powerful substance that will allow you access to a trance of this nature. You will see visions. They may be strange, but they come from within you. You see she kneels down in front of this large bowl. She hangs 5 small towels around the outside of the bowl. So one of the towels faces each of you, except for Poppy. They hang so that one edge of the towel sits at the bottom of the inside of the bowl and the other hangs out. And she places the other object she has grabbed on the ground around her as she kneels, and she pulls out a small vial filled with an orange dust from a bag on her hips. Any other questions before we begin?
What if somebody wants to stop?
You are in control. This powder comes from the astral bloom, a particular flower that has only been found a few places across Dakaria. It holds tremendous power, and in this concentrated form, can be extremely dangerous. So we must dilute it before using it in our meditation. With these very practiced hands, Channa begins this preparation. It's methodical. She drops a small bit of the powder into a mortar and pestle, and then drops a bit of oil into it, muddling it into a paste, and then adding some herbs, and continues muddling it until it's this paste that's just a little less of this vibrant orange. And you see she scrapes it into the large bowl that you're all sitting around. She then brings over the tea kettle and pours hot water in. The liquid turns completely orange, but now again, even a less vibrant hue. She does a gentle gesture with her hand, and the liquid starts to swirl inside the bowl like magic. As it does so, it begins to move faster, and it climbs up the side of the bowl as it's pushed away from the center. It then touches the ends of those towels that are dangling into the bowl. They absorb the liquid and start turning orange themselves. She slowly raises from her kneeled position, heads clockwise around the bowl, first to Jack, where you are laying down. She grabs the towel, now dampened with this liquid, just for you to lift your head up. She places it against your forehead and then ties a gentle knot in the back of your head, keeping it secured. The liquid is a bit warm, but it has this warming sensation you start to feel specifically on your forehead. And she continues to each of you until all of you but Poppy are seated with these towels across your forehead. I'll be relaxed. Channa does not sit back down, but begins walking along the outside of the room, and she begins extinguishing each candle one by one. Your true selves have been hidden far too long. The warmth you feel is inviting them to come say hello. And then there's another candle extinguished. Invite them in. Feel what they want to show you. Look for what they want to show you. Another candle. You can get nowhere without yourself. Knowing what's inside. The good. Another candle's extinguished. And the bad. As the room gets darker and darker, you see around you that the other party members that have these towels on their head, they're starting to glow an orange glow. Not the whole towel itself, but the glow is at the forehead in many small lights. It almost looks like fireflies are trapped beneath the towel and trying to get out, glowing. There's one final candle that Channa does not extinguish, but brings over to the bowl. She begins to hum in this low, melodic tone, and it resonates across this metallic bowl. It's still filled with a small amount of liquid at the bottom, and it continues to resonate and bounce off this domed copper roof, reflecting those sound waves at you from every direction. You feel these vibrations more than you hear them, and you are all feeling a sense of nothingness. Almost like your minds are struggling to focus on one thing for more than a split second. It's like these vibrations break you from focusing. All you can see around now is the small candlelight illuminating Channa's face and the orange glow atop the foreheads of the other party members. Channa then drops the candle into the central bowl, and the substance ignites in orange flame. You see inside the flame some of the leftover powder rising. It's bursting, it's popping like fireworks. As each of you watch, the dark around gets darker, as the popping of the powder is all you can really focus on. With every pop, you feel a similar pop of warmth on your forehead as the room falls away. You're still seated, but feel no ground beneath you, nor see anything but these bursts of the powder. But suddenly they stop disappearing as you watch them. They're no longer just these sparks that pop and then go away. They linger in the air. They were just a few feet in front of you just a moment ago, but now these bursts, they look impossibly far away. They're still, like stars in the night sky. And you guys feel yourselves no longer kneeling, no longer sitting, no longer lying down, but being lifted towards these stars. Looking around, you have none of the others around you. You're alone. Beneath you, you see a Caria. You're drifting away from it, being pulled away. You're weightless, yet you are lifted into the vast expanse of space. These stars start moving. They begin to swirl in the distance. One at a time, they leave trails forming intricate patterns that dance and shift before your eyes. That resonant hum that Channa was making, it turns into this ethereal hum of the universe. This impossible sound that enters in your body, not just through your ears, but through every pore, as you feel the cosmos enter and become one with you. And in words, they don't describe the sensations you feel. You feel like starlight. You feel inherent. You feel your senses melding into one. You're hearing what you see. You're smelling what you touch, tasting what you can hear. It's this deep hum that fills this void, vibrating through your being. And each of your senses is locked in on this sound. And that sound, this hum, deepens as you see the stars themselves rearranging in front of you. They move as if pulling a paintbrush across a canvas. They're distorting reality, distorting what's possible to show a symbol. A colossal, radiant symbol that pulses with this universal light. It's the same symbol etched onto your hands. It glows with intensity in this ether of nothingness that's before you. Your hands begin to glow. The shape of the S with a circle in its bottom curve. And this hum begins to crescendo louder and louder. And you watch this massive symbol in front of you. You see the circle bursts. It shatters, but it isn't violent. It's controlled. It's beautiful. And that light that bursts from it reveals 7 smaller symbols that spread themselves out like a clock. Each one a slightly different hue, each one a different animal. There's a scorpion, there's a goat, a wolverine, a raven, a butterfly, a penguin, and an ant. Behind them, these orbs materialize. The massive celestial bodies that float above Ikaria. These orbitals that you see every day floating above the surface in the sky. They appear behind these symbols. There are 7 symbols, yet only 6 orbitals appear. 1 symbol remains on its own. The wolverine. And you watch as the other symbols burn themselves into the faces of the orbitals. And these symbols, they begin to revolve around the central S. And you watch as these revolve over and over again. But nothing seems to change. Till suddenly, the central symbol, the one that is on each of your hands, it goes dark. In an instant, the light goes out. But the others continue to circle. They continue to revolve. And in a place like this, where it's impossible to tell time, to tell what's going on, this revolving movement is all you know. And just a few moments later, you see the symbol of the scorpion. It glows a dark and eerie black color. Then the symbol of the butterfly burns bright orange, much more intense. And a split second later, the orbital with the symbol of the ant explodes. Ilos's orbital exploding again. You see it in this vision. In that instant, you each feel this shudder down your spine, a loss of breath. You feel this connection with the cosmos ends. You feel the sensation of adrenaline hit you like a truck as gravity takes hold and you each begin plunging back to Ikaria. I need everyone to make wisdom saving throws, except for Santos.
What the heck?
That's a 1 minus 2.
I also got a 1.
Guys, please.
I got a 3.
You've got to be kidding me. Nat 1.
No way.
Straight down the middle at 10.
I got a 14.
And we're going to start with Jack next episode. For today, that's a wrap.
Blasted.
Oh,
damn it. Perfect timing.
What does it mean?
Thanks, I hate it.
Thank you all so much for listening. Our players are falling from space, but you all could be falling in love with our merch, which you can check on over on castparty.shop. Link is down below. Because if you didn't know, our merch store is now open year-round with the start of Season 2. We got shirts, hoodies, stickers, crew necks, everything you could want to show off your sick style and support the show. And don't forget, while you're searching stuff on the internet, to head over to patreon.com/castparty and become a patron so you can hear behind the scenes and you'll see us in just 1 week instead of waiting 2 whole weeks for the next episode. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Pain.
Well, that's them off to Channa. Let's see, what's next? A new guy, off to the whirlpool of rejuvenation again. Wonder which finger he lost this time. Anne is set for a griffin feather massage. I never understood how the tickles were relaxing, but they seem to enjoy it. Dragons is going to, oh yes, the enchanted mud bath. Let's hope the mud doesn't start talking again. Last time, Dubward was scared so much we had to empty and clean the entire thing. Saint E. Love is off to the levitation chamber. We got the skylight fixed so we won't have another situation like Eric 5. Some say he's still floating out there somewhere. Forerunner is in the elemental steam room. I haven't heard anything from upstairs, so hopefully the fire elemental is keeping us cool. We've had enough singed eyebrows this week. Heather is in the moonbeam detox room, one of my personal favorites. I did forget to ask if they are allergic to stardust. I should probably go check on her. Eastweek still hasn't come back from the mirror maze of self-reflection. Did he get lost, or is he just talking to himself again? Jesky Fire will be here any minute for an enchanted aromatherapy session. Glad we took out the dragon's breath flower. That was one hell of an insurance ordeal. Jonas is off to a potion bath. I didn't tell them we accidentally switched the labels on all of the potions. That's gonna be a fun surprise, I'm sure. Kaylee is scheduled for a fairy dust exfoliation. I thought we stopped those. I don't want another fairy protest outside. Lady Lorax wasn't too happy when she had to come down from her astral yoga. Said the fairies were so loud she could hear them from across the astral sea. Lexi was also doing yoga, but that was way more catastrophic. She was doing elemental yoga, and when the protest started, she couldn't keep the water and fire poses balanced. Yeah, big explosion. Opti was floating in the lagoon and tried to getting a bucket of water to help, but the water wouldn't stay in the bucket. Ryan had to go over and tell her she was actually floating in a water elemental, and that you can't just take buckets out of it. That was another whole issue, and all while the yoga studio was burning down. Luckily, Bastrop was nearby doing a magic waterfall soak. You know, sitting under a waterfall, cross-legged, all pensive. The magic waterfall was following him, so he just ran into the building and ran all around. Fire problem solved. We had to call in Bubba to fix the place up, and boy was that something. He isn't exactly a relaxing person to be around. He kept disrupting Ebab Flow's dance practice with those loud noises. Twisted Abyss was able to play some calming music so the dance practice can continue. But man, that week we had to give out a ton of free massage vouchers.